My, female, 32, mother, female, 60, hosts Thanksgiving dinner at her house every year. It's a small event, with my parents, me, my brother's family, and my sister-in-law's family attending. We avoid family quarrels by implementing a strict no politics rule and trying our best to be civil. I should probably mention that we are not a particularly close-knit family. We rarely see each other beyond these events, since my brother lives in South Africa and I travel a lot due to my work. Thanksgiving is important to my mom, since it's one of the rare times we're all together. Anyway, the main problem I have with my mother is her constant critique of me. She has a habit of making passive-aggressive comments about my life choices, from my career to my lack of children to the way I dress. I've addressed this with her multiple times, but she doesn't really seem aware of it. My father claims it is just her way of fussing and expressing that she cares. It does hurt, though, because my brother is never criticized in the same manner. I cannot entirely fault her for her criticism, since I did majorly mess up my life a few months ago, depression, and it has affected her opinion of me negatively. It does not excuse the way I acted, but I just wanted to explain why I left. By the time we finished dinner, I was a bit prickly because of some of her commentary. I made a cake for dessert. I was explicitly put in charge of it, and no one specified what exactly I should make, so I opted for maple cheesecake. I did my best, and I think it looked okay. Mom normally makes pumpkin pie, but I really hate pumpkins. They make me gag, so I thought perhaps we could try something new. As I was bringing out the cheesecake, my mom eyed it somewhat warily and announced that she'd decided to make the usual pie as well. This caught me off guard. I asked why she didn't tell me beforehand, and she said something like, "Well, we figured you'd do your own thing, so I thought it was best to have a backup." She went on to cut the pie and serve it to everyone, instructing me to leave the cheesecake in the kitchen. When someone asked to try my dessert, she said, "Let's not mix too many flavors at once," which just felt passive-aggressive. I know it's immature for an adult to get this upset over a triviality, but I just politely refused as she was handing me a slice of pie, retrieved my coat, and left. People were calling after me, I think, but by that point, I was crying for some reason, and it would have been too humiliating to have an emotional outburst in front of everyone for no real reason. My mom just texted me saying that it was incredibly rude and immature of me to leave like that, especially on Thanksgiving. My brother also sent me a message saying I'm acting irrationally. I feel horrible for leaving so abruptly, especially because my parents are getting older and we are already not close. Something about my mother seems to turn me into a neurotic teenager, and I hate it. Now for the update. Hello. Since I always wonder what happened to the people who post on here, I thought I'd give a brief update. When I wrote that post, I was mentally in a pretty dark place. I think I needed someone, even if it was a stranger on the internet, to validate my feelings and listen. And commenters on here did listen and took the time to write advice that made me think, so thank you. Most of you were right. My post was not really about pumpkin pie or cheesecake. The underlying tension between me and my mother has always expressed itself through fights over trivialities and long silences. Many of you have asked me why I, as a 30-year-old woman, still go to these events. I've asked myself the same question and realized that there is no reason for me to be there. My brother and I do not get along, we never have, and my mother has brought this onto herself. I will be spending Christmas elsewhere. However, I feel like my post might have portrayed my mother in an unfair light. I know it does not matter, since you are here to judge a conflict and not a person, but some of the comments seem to assume my mom to be a nasty and mean bully. She is not. She can be very kind and very generous and has done a lot of good for people through her work. She is also terrible at expressing emotion, frustrated by retirement, and herself had a very difficult childhood. Our relationship has not always been this bad, and I too have been cruel to her in the past. In regards to the actual quarrel, I have sent only a short response to my brother since Thanksgiving, ignoring Mum's texts. She called yesterday and seems to be hell-bent on buying me new shoes. She rarely apologizes. I am not strong enough to keep hoping she changes. I will address the topic of my childhood with my therapist. Happy holidays, everyone. Now for a few comments. What stands out to me is the fact that you said she is a good person because of her work, which helps a lot of people. That is work. It sounds to me that this is a persona she was putting out there for the community. She probably thrives on everyone thinking of her as amazing, brilliant, great. It doesn't make her a good person. The pumpkin pie incident illustrates that perfectly. Think mean girls who put charity events on, if you will. She will step on anyone she needs to be the top dog while keeping a big smile on her face. Then gaslight or pretend nothing happened. Maybe it is due to her childhood, maybe it is her personality, but in any case, your mother is toxic, and she will continue to act this way as soon as the next occasion comes. Keep this in mind. Exposure to toxicity is dangerous for your health, and the longer you get exposed, the more harm it is causing you. Comment 2. I will address the topic of my childhood with my therapist. It is good that you're in therapy and will be talking to them. When doing so, please consider discussing what you said here. Some of the comments seem to assume my mom to be a nasty and mean bully. She is not. She can be very kind and very generous and has done a lot of good for people through her work. Both of these things can be true at the same time. Even bullies can be kind and generous when they want to be. Even bullies can do good for other people. Some bullies are like Gojira, indiscriminately stomping its way through Tokyo in their behavior. Others can be more discriminating in their bullying behavior, reserving their vitriol for selected targets. I know someone whose mother is like that, a pleasant person to most of the people around her, but to her adult child, nasty and horrible, constantly tearing that acquaintance down. With respect to you and that situation, it does not matter that your mom is generally kind, nice and helpful. What matters is that to you, at that time and in that place, she was acting as bullies act. Ipso facto, she is a bully. There is a lot of cognitive dissonance that people often have to overcome in processing that idea, particularly about one's own parent. But doing so, when needed, can be a significant step forward. Your therapist should definitely be able to help you figure out if this is something you need to work through and help you with that. Comment 3. We don't know your mother as well as you do, but I don't think you misrepresented your mother. You told us about a situation in which your mother was nasty and mean. It doesn't matter how nice she is to others or how much good she's done through work. Her difficult childhood is for her to deal with, and none of it, her niceness to others or her past hurts, justifies using you as a scapegoat. She doesn't get to make you feel horrible so that she feels better. She doesn't get to create toxic dynamics where her nastiness towards you is not only tolerated, but so deeply accepted that you are turned into the villain by her and the rest of the family for not agreeing to be treated badly. You shouldn't let her calm her bad conscience by buying you shoes, and you should not feel guilty for recognizing her bad behaviors and for calling them out. You deserve an apology, but if you don't think that's going to come from her, then at the very least, you deserve to acknowledge to yourself that she treated you poorly and that there is no excuse for it. And you can decide not to allow her to treat you poorly in the future without feeling guilty. You deserve kindness from yourself at the very least, and she and the rest of your family don't get to make you guilty about it. You can love your mom and your family and appreciate their good qualities and acknowledge their struggles and still not take their BS. One doesn't negate the other. I wish you the best, and I hope you have or find a chosen family that gives you the love and kindness you need. Comment 4. We assumed her to be a bully because it was clear from your previous post that she is one, at least to you. It doesn't matter how nice she is to colleagues or strangers if she treats her own child like shit. Not bringing out your cheesecake and explicitly refusing to let anyone try it was pure mean girl, and she had a lot of nerve complaining that you were the one being immature. It sounds like you still aren't quite ready to face how toxic she is to you. Comment 5. When I went away to college, every time I talked to my parents, and mostly my mom over the phone, I would just get my ass chewed. Like in tears after every call, because it didn't matter what I told them. Whatever it was, it clearly wasn't right. I'm studying. Why didn't I do it earlier? I'm going to go see some friends. Why aren't you studying? I'm going to spend the night in. Why aren't you out making friends? I went to answer the phone, and my boyfriend at the time just pushed my hand softly away from the phone. Barely a nudge, but I put it in my lap and just kept it there until it stopped ringing. I had all the control. I always did. I don't have to pick up the phone to get yelled at. It took a couple years before they stopped doing that, because suddenly they lost the opportunity to say anything to me at all. They got better, but I also never ever moved close to them again. Just if it's not going to be loving conversation, don't pick up the phone. If it's not going to be a good time, don't go. It's as easy as staying put somewhere else. If the bully says they're going to fight you in the parking lot, don't go to the parking lot. I know it's hard, but do what's best for you. They're all adults. They can take care of themselves. Wishing you the best. Now for the next post. I kind of know I am the idiot, but I need to know how bad it was. My brother is 29 and has been with Leah for about 2 years. We all like her. She is super nice. I am getting married next April and sent an invite to my brother's apartment. We decided to send invites to households and not individuals. For example, our aunt received an invite for her family and not for each individual. Last Thursday, we met at my parents' place. It was just the core family because of some tax reasons, lol. While there, I asked my brother about Leah's dietary restrictions. I know that she is a vegetarian for health reasons and that she cannot have certain raw vegetables. He said that she wasn't going to come and that he was taking his girl best friend, Amanda, instead. Now, their relationship is weird AF. Amanda has always been stringing my brother along, in my opinion. He always denies having feelings for her, but let's be real here. Amanda would date other guys, blow off my brother, then when things were on the decline with her partners, she would be attached to him again. Her last boyfriend broke up with her right around the time my brother, his then ex-girlfriend, Amanda, and her ex were supposed to travel to Spain. What did my idiot brother do? Go with Amanda alone because Amanda was uncomfortable with his ex-girlfriend. Obviously, he acted blindsided when his girlfriend broke up with him. I didn't even say anything anymore because it's all so weird. So, when he said that, I asked if Leah already had other plans. But my brother said that Amanda had asked if she could come because it would be an opportunity to finally see the old gang. We were in the same friend group in high school. I told him that I would have invited Amanda if I wanted her there. Amanda is mean and cold. She always makes disparaging comments about other girls. At every event, around 1 hour in, she will make some sort of scene that either has her running away crying or sitting mad at a table telling everyone to leave her alone, and then making a cryptic comment about something hurting her. I told my brother I was revoking his +1 and Amanda was not coming to our wedding. He accused me of being misogynistic and bigoted because I don't understand opposite-sex friendships, which is BS. My husband has a female childhood friend who is his best woman. I love her too, and she has been amazing. And she respects fucking boundaries. She always includes me and made a huge effort when I started dating my fiance to integrate me into the friend group. Anyway, I said my decision was final. He could take it or leave it, but I would be inviting Leah myself because I like her. He screamed at me and told me to keep out of his business. I said to get rid of his weird fucking feelings for Amanda. He is mad at me. My dad said it is none of our deal. My mom is furious with my brother, so am I the idiot? Edit. To answer some questions. The invite was addressed to the Smiths. Funnily enough, Leah had the same last name as us. Granted, we have one of the most common last names. Yes, they live together. The tax thing is nothing huge. My parents have a small business but are really bad at keeping track of all their receipts. So every month we go and help them. We digitalize the receipts and put them in a bookkeeping software for the accountant. Now for the update. After the confrontation, I didn't hear from Leah or my brother for about 2 days. During that time, Amanda reached out to me, upset about my Reddit post. She called me an idiot and insisted that Leah is not the only special woman in my brother's life. She argued neither Leah nor I have the right to be selfish with my brother's time, asserting she existed before Leah or any of his girlfriends and would outlast them all. She ended with a presumptuous statement that she would surely see me at my wedding. I was fuming. I chose not to engage with her other remarks, but instead sent her a clear message. Hello, Amanda. You are not invited to my wedding. If you want to see the old gang, please organize a coffee date when they're all in town. Should you appear at the wedding, you will be escorted out peacefully by staff or with police involvement. Please refrain from contacting me or my husband. Amanda responded with more emails, mostly vague threats and name-calling, and turned to Instagram to indirectly target me. She tagged me in posts, making my username small so people wouldn't notice me tagged, but would see it in my notifications. She also used an Ask Me Anything sticker on her Instagram story, where I'm pretty sure she asked herself leading questions. Highlights included questions like, "What's the perfect outfit for a wedding?" with a photo of herself in a dress captioned, "This, but sadly, I'll never get to use it." And, "What is your pet peeve?" followed by a rant about nosy people who think they have the right to control others. She flooded her story with sad quotes about no longer having a girl's girl. She tagged me in every single one. Of course, I screenshotted them all, lol. Some friends reached out when Amanda started spreading a different story, claiming I originally invited her, but later disinvited her because Leah hates her and pressured my brother to do the same. The cool part? Not one person believed her. Many of our old high school friends have cut ties with Amanda, and the few guys who still talk to her are more linked to my brother. They reached out to let me know Amanda was spreading rumors. The girls in the group blocked her after she vented to them, which led Amanda to start bombarding their phones. My brother panicked, thinking I'd started a campaign against her. Speaking of my brother, he called and texted me multiple times, furious that I excluded Amanda and even blamed me for any harm she might come to. He went as far as calling our mother, saying Amanda was depressed and threatening never to forgive me if something happened to her. My mom advised him to call for a welfare check if he was genuinely concerned because he, as an individual with no training, wouldn't be equipped to handle such situations. The biggest development is that my brother got kicked out of his shared apartment. Leah called me to say their relationship might not continue and that she might not feel comfortable coming to the wedding. I understood her decision and offered an open ear. We met for coffee, and she recounted their ugly fight. Without going into all the details, Leah didn't hold back. She made my brother read every single text out loud between him and Amanda and sent a copy to one of her male friends, who replied, "Leah, what the fuck? This is not okay." She used this as evidence that their interactions were, at best, inappropriate and realistically an emotional affair. When my brother begged her to stay, she asked him why, knowing he would always choose Amanda. He swore he wouldn't, but his immediate response to a hysterical call from Amanda about me bullying her proved otherwise. Leah left while he comforted Amanda in another room. Later, she texted him that he needed to move out while she was away. It's her apartment, and she didn't want to see him until certain conditions were met, cutting Amanda out completely and seeking therapy to address his unhealthy patterns. The fight spanned 2 intense days. Leah found solace in your podcast and the comments here. She described it as surreal but helpful. She sends her greetings and wants people in similar situations to know a few things. Don't fear being alone, because being with someone who's not good for you will make you feel lonelier than being single. Never enter a relationship with a "I can fix him" mentality, as it usually ends in heartbreak. Prioritize yourself, and while trying to work things out is noble, don't depend on it as the solution. That's pretty much it. It sounds convoluted, like a soap opera, but my day-to-day life has surprisingly been calm. I think my brother really needs to mature and either commit to Amanda or realize he's being strung along. And to Amanda, please grow up and leave me alone. Now for a few comments. God, hate girls like Amanda. Did you show your brother the lies she was making up to make herself like the victim? He really needs an eye-opener, and Amanda looks like the last person you'd want to join your family as a sister-in-law. Then OP replied, "It's not like he cares." Comment 2. My older cousin had an Amanda-like friend for quite some time. We thought they would end up together. He was very handsome, and still is. But we couldn't understand why he had a panic attack while boarding a plane. Amanda was with him and didn't leave the plane while a firefighter, another Good Samaritan passenger, helped him and took him to a hospital. We couldn't comprehend why such a close friend like her would abandon him in his time of need. His physical health was perfect, but not his mental health. They were returning from a wedding as well. My cousin was distraught because of this. He said he couldn't remember his name, his phone number, or what was happening. The guy who helped him recognized the symptoms as burnout. Since Amanda refused to leave the plane and help calm him down, he had to step in. My grandmother offered money to this guy, but he refused. The airline had them covered. The only thing he asked was for us to remove that girl from our lives. Unlike you, OP, we liked our Amanda, but family comes first. We asked her not to come to our family gatherings anymore. My cousin also reduced contact, but Amanda preferred they went no contact. In the end, she didn't care at all. Your brother will have the same fate. Then OP replied, "Jesus, that's terrible. How is your cousin now? Was that really the pull he needed to leave his so-called friend behind? Comment 3. Comment 4. So Amanda is keeping your brother as a backup plan, and he's willing to throw away every relationship he has, romantic and otherwise, to keep her happy. Hopefully he comes to his senses before he ends up a sad, broken, lonely man. Comment 5. Thank God you stayed strong and Leah got out. Your brother and Amanda are totally bananas. If you made it to the end of the video, comment what city you're watching from. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a great day.